Off-road driving. It is a skill that requires a person to travel the distance from one point to another, crossing harsh terrains that any normal car would struggle with or find impossible without getting stuck. To drive off-road literally means any surface where there is no road, but because of the large diversity of environments, a variety of recreational off-roading types have evolved. Hill climbs require a steep climb up a slope but do not rely on brute force. Normally the slopes need to be approached at very controlled speeds and angles. It is a common misconception that river crossing is a difficult task in off-roading, when in actual fact it is very simple given the correct circumstances. For example, an experienced driver knows that a running engine will be too hot for water to enter, and so will leave the car running when stuck. They should also know that the petrol in the fuel tank is not soluble in water, and so will not be affected if it mixes. The most important thing to consider is to completely seal off the exhaust to prevent water getting in, and to preserve the fumes that might try to escape. Dune bashing is more closely associated with off-roading in desert environments. The large sand dunes and unstable surfaces make for a fun but challenging variation of off-roading. Normally this requires more specialised cars to deal with the vast amounts of sand that can get into the workings of the engine. The messiest and possibly less technical side of off-roading is mud bogging. Mud bogging involves driving a 4x4 into deep muddy areas as far as possible before getting stuck. Although getting stuck and excessively dirty are not considered conventional off-roading abilities, being able to get unstuck and still keep your vehicle functional can be a challenge and are useful skills to master. Advances in technology are made every day, and although the traditional design of large tiers and high ground clearance has changed very little, the machinery that goes into the average off-roader has changed dramatically. There are now cars made with specialised modifications, capable of climbing 95-degree slopes. A good off-roader should be able to drive a course or over terrain without damaging their vehicle or damaging the land that they are on. A clean car is usually a dependable sign of a good driver. Since the invention of four-wheel drive, off-road cars almost always have it in some form. Four-wheel drive means that the engine can power all four wheels at the same time. This means that if one or more wheels slips, the others still have the power to get the traction needed to move the vehicle. And a car that is stopped on a slope can stop itself from slipping further. When climbing steep slopes, the four-wheel drive pushes the car up one wheel at a time, individually affecting each wheel. This means that the power is divided by 4, so four-wheel drive cars have larger engines because the car must be 2 times as powerful as a two-wheel car to get the same power per wheel. Unique versions of off-road vehicles have to be produced featuring customised frames and body materials to enable them to withstand more brutal environments. These specially designed cars have to be adapted to include armour plating, fireproofing and airtight interiors. The alterations mean that the cars can withstand war-zone gunfire, volcanic environments and space exploration. In the early years of off-roading, creditable skills were considered more important than engine size. This has drastically changed as it has been scientifically proven that the louder a person's car can be, the better it is at everything. Off-roading has developed drastically since those times. For example, modern cars are fitted with cruise control. Unlike normal road cars' cruise control, it is more instinctive in off-road cars, especially when they are released into wild environments to roam free, like in popular wild car sanctuaries or off-road centres. The wild off-road car can be seen grazing in rural countryside areas. Normally living in solitude, the off-road car is used to hunting alone. It has been known to stalk its prey before giving chase, and often goes in for the kill using its large, powerful wheels. Off-road cars have almost perfectly evolved to suit their environment and are unrivaled predators, but it will regular snack on smaller, more common prey such as unsuspecting humans. On many planets, the off-road cars are considered to be classed as gods. They are worshipped because of their ability to transform into wish-granting creatures, which is part wolf, part snake, and can fly. An unfortunate side effect of witnessing the transformation is that it has been known to cause high blood pressure, suicidal tendencies, and spontaneous combustion. The whole off-roading world has an important impact on everyday life, and its existence could determine our fate as the battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons continues.